Hello and welcome to another What's Inside. Today we're looking at Rising Sun Kami Unbound box set. These are supplementary figures to the game by Cool Mini or Not and Guillotine Games. And inside we are going to find 7 highly detailed plastic minis, 15 season cards, 7 Kami cards, and 1 rules leaflet. The game is aimed at ages 14 and up, and you will need a copy of the core Rising Sun box set to play this. Otherwise, these are just minis. But all the minis we've looked at for this game have been really, really cool. So let's open this up, see what's inside, and take a look at everything. Now, I have not had a chance to play this game, but it looks really, really awesome. And the art on the box, by the way, is spectacular. All of the art in this game is just beautiful. So there's some more of the art. See, I'd have a hard time throwing these boxes out because they're really cool looking. Alright, so here's our rules sheet. This one's a little more in depth than some of the others because there's more minis. So you can tell it's just one sheet folded in half, but there's a lot more to go over with this one than there is with some of the others. So there's our cards, and then we've got our minis. So what I'm going to do is zoom the camera in so we can get a closer look at the minis and see what my camera can do for getting an image, and then we'll look at the cards as well. So give me 1 second and we'll zoom in. Okay, first up we've got this guy. I think this is Raijin. He's got all these cool drums around him. It's a nicely crafted mini. It's kind of a bright white color that some people probably aren't going to like that, but it could work as primer. I know a lot of people are painting these minis these days, so if you want to paint it, it's all ready to go for you. There's a lot of detailing on some of these. Next up we have Fujin. I'm sure I'm going to butcher all these names, but I'm not good at language, so here we are. So it's a cool looking piece. It's number 56. As always, nice mini. Next up we have is... Wait, who's this guy? Alright, this is Susanoo. Something like that. Looks like Susan with 2 O's at the end. Let's get this guy out of the way. Again, good sculpt, nice quality. The bases are good, so they stand on their own. Pretty well weighted, so not going to be too easy to knock over, but I've been known to be successful on some of those. Alright, next up we have is Ryujin. He's got a cool like trident staff. The staff is a little bowed, but that's kind of common these days with some of these minis. Alright, next up we have Tsukuyomi, something like that. Again, good sculpt. Not quite as much detailing as I would have liked, especially on the back. This is kind of bland looking. Could have been a little spicier, but still a good piece. Then we have Amaterasu, which I really like this mini. This is really cool looking. With the big fan behind him, the circuit. Oops. I really like this with the big wheel behind him. Looks really cool. Really nice piece. And lastly, we have Hachiman. Something like that. Again, another cool sculpt. So these are all nice pieces. And you are paying for the quality of them. These are probably going for a little more than they probably should be, because the game isn't, you know, producing a whole lot of new stuff or expansions or anything. So these are kind of hard to find occasionally. It comes and goes depending on people jumping into it. But I haven't seen anything new come out for this, so probably not going to be particularly cheap. So we've got two different things of cards here. We'll start with the big ones and then look at the smaller ones there. As soon as I'm done fighting with the plastic wrap. Alright, so the back art is really, really cool. Look at that. And this is, of course, Tsukuyomi, something like that. And then we've got Susanoo, or however this is pronounced. So really nice artwork. Card quality is pretty solid. And here we've got Ryujin. Really nice color effect too. It's got that like traditional Japanese background, but with a modern color scheme. And then this one is, of course, Raijin, something like that. It even says what they are on the side, like Kami. So, and then Hachiman. And Fujin. And I like this piece a lot. This is really cool looking. And that's one that I'm gonna butcher, so I'll just leave that there. We'll look at the little cards then. The season cards. Usually these come in like the little Ziploc baggies, as I recall. So it's kind of weird that they didn't give me a bag for these, and instead they wrapped them up. Alright, so we've got our seasons, we've got autumn, we've got summer, and we've got spring. So we'll start with the autumn deck because it was on top. And we have the Oni of Hate. Then we have the Oni of Spite. Way of the Carrii. Form of the Tanuki. And lastly, Form of the Tanuki. So there's our autumn cards. Alright, let's go to summer. And we'll look at these 5. We've got the Oni of Blood. The Path of Sengoku. Path of the Favored. Sincerity. And lastly, another Sincerity. Alright, let's look at the spring cards. First up we have Path of the Kanushi. Then we have another one of those. Then we have Path of the Builder. Then we have Piety. And lastly, another Piety. Alright, so that's all 15 cards. We already looked at the larger cards for the monsters. And that is all there is to see in here. So we've seen what's inside. I think it's a nice looking box set. Minis look really cool. I would display half of them if I wasn't playing with them. And I think it's probably worth a decent amount of money, but depends how much you like the game. Obviously that's a decision you're going to have to make for yourself, but they do look pretty cool. But that's what's inside. We've seen that, so it's time to wrap up. As always, thank you so much for watching and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss future openings and reviews. And we hope to see you on the next one.